Students, in past few classes, we have learnt about equations of motion and few problems on equations of motion. And in last two lectures, we have learnt about integration and differentiation. And we have solved few problems based on them. Today, we are going to derive equations of motion using integration and differentiation. We have basic equations of motion. V is equal to U plus AT. S is equal to ut plus half at square. V square minus u square is equal to 2as, right? All these equations are valid only for uniform acceleration. All these equations are valid only for uniform acceleration. That means if the body is traveling with constant velocity, then only we can use these equations. These equations are applicable only when body is traveling with uniform acceleration, right? Then you may have a question in your mind. If body is traveling with non-uniform acceleration, if body is traveling with non-uniform acceleration, then what do we do? If at all body is traveling with uniform acceleration, then simply we will be using equations of motion and we will be solving problems. Suppose if at all body is moving with non-uniform acceleration, if acceleration of the body is either increasing or decreasing with respect to time, then in such cases above equations are not valid. Then what to do? So in order to deal with non-uniform acceleration, we use differentiation and integration. We use differentiation and integration in order to handle with non-uniform acceleration. So simply we can write acceleration as dv divided by dt, velocity v as ds divided by dt, right? We can use these integration and differentiation terms and we can find out the desired quantity in case of non-uniform acceleration. And using these differentiation and integration, today we will be deriving equations of motion which are applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. So these equations which we already know, those equations we can use it for uniform acceleration. Then if it is non-uniform acceleration, we use integration and differentiation and we derive those equations which we derive using this and this, they are applicable for non-uniform acceleration moving bodies also, right? So these equations are very important because they are applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. Let us derive first equation of motion which we have. It is v is equal to u plus at, right? Now this equation we need to derive using integration and differentiation, right? For that, forget about this given equation, forget about this equation. Now let me know, as we already know, acceleration is equal to dv divided by dt. That means instantaneous acceleration. At any instant of time, you can find out acceleration as dv by dt. From this, you can write dv is equal to acceleration into dt. Is it not? This is equation number 1. We know that dv is equal to a into dt. Now what you are supposed to do, we can to find velocity, we integrate above equation. Now we integrate this equation, that is integration dv is equal to integration a into dt, right? So for example, if your body is starting from one particular point, if it is starting from a whose initial velocity is u, it is going to it is finally reaching some velocity v when it reach position b. The total acceleration which it is covering is a. This is instantaneous acceleration we are talking about, and that a you can use it here. Let initial time be t1 or t initial time, let me take it as t0, and final time let me take it as t1, right? If suppose you are considering that initial time as 0, you can take it as 0 to t1, right? Now initial velocity is u, it is changing to v. I will use those limits. So integration dv, from where to where velocity is changing? It is changing from initial velocity u to final velocity v. This is equal to integration, a is instantaneous acceleration, dt, and what about time? Time is also variable. Time is varying from t0 to t1. Okay. What is integration dv? This is v. And what about these limits? It should change only from u to v. This is equal to acceleration a. Integration acceleration is constant. I am bringing it out. What is integration dt? Integration dt is t. Limits are from t0 to t1. That means initial time is t0, final time is t1. Initial velocity is u, final velocity is v. Now substituting, like actually I did not explain this integration with limits in the previous sessions. Just you remember that this is v which is varying from u to v, and this is called as upper limit. This is called as upper limit, and this is called as lower limit. Right? So first, whenever you are evaluating this kind of integrations, and in these integrations, first you should substitute upper limit. Okay. Now what is upper limit here? Instead of this v, first substitute upper limit. V minus lower limit. What is lower limit? U. Upper limit I am substituting, it is v as it is. Lower limit I am substituting v. V minus u, because final velocity is v, initial velocity is u. So whenever you are substituting limits, upper limit minus lower limit, that is default. You should take it as upper limit minus lower limit is equal to acceleration a. And what about here? Limits are from t0 to t1. Upper limit is t1. Instead of t, you should substitute upper limit t1. Next, after that, instead of t, you should substitute lower limit minus t0. And this gives you v is equal to u plus a into t1 minus t0. This is the final expression which is applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. And this is very, very important way how we are deriving equations of motion. We have already derived equation 1 for non-uniform motion, and now we will derive equation 2 for non-uniform motion. So we already know equation of motion, S is equal to ut plus half at square. This is applicable for uniform acceleration only. This is applicable only for uniform acceleration. Now we will be using integration and differentiation, and we'll derive the same equation which is applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. So for that, what I do, as we know, basic equation for velocity v, which is equal to ds divided by dt. We know that velocity v is equal to ds by dt. Already you know this. Okay. Now from this, what I do, I'll just write it as ds is equal to v into dt. Okay. So that means a body is starting from particular initial velocity u at a time t 0, and it is moving with some acceleration which is variable, and finally it is gaining some velocity v after some time t1, traveling a distance s. This is what a body's journey is. Take this as equation number 1, right? And we already know equation for v. V is equal to u plus at, because we already derived this equation. We can use this expression over here. Now ds is equal to, wherever v is there, you just substitute that u plus at into dt. Okay. Now this is ds is equal to u into dt plus a into t dt. A into t dt. What you are supposed to find out? You want to find out final displacement or net displacement. Net displacement is s, which is equal to integration ds. So for that, in order to find out net displacement, what you should do? You should integrate above expression. That is, integration ds is equal to integration of u dt plus a integration of a t dt. Right? Now, initially, body is starting with some particular displacement. Let it be like initially it may start at s0. So lower limit will be s0. What will be the final displacement? Final displacement, it will be s1. Okay. And instead of time also, wherever it is, like if there is any particular time, you can just substitute the times over there. So for simplicity, I am taking initial time as 0, final time as t. Initial time as 0, final time as t. I don't want to make this more complicated. So initial time is starting from 0th second. What is integration ds? Integration ds is s. S0 and s1 is equal to u is constant. Integration dt is t, upper limit 0. Sorry, lower limit 0, upper limit t, plus a is constant. T dt, it is t square by 2, and it is 0 to t second. Now upper limit is s1 minus lower limit is s0 is equal to u into upper limit is t minus 0 plus a by 2 into upper limit is t square minus 0. Okay, this is s1 minus s0 is equal to ut plus half a t square. This is the final expression, which is s1 minus s0 is equal to ut plus half at square. This is applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. Now let us derive equation 3, which is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. This is valid for uniform acceleration. Now we will derive this expression, which will be applicable for non-uniform acceleration also. For that, what I do, I'll simply take equation for acceleration. A is equal to dv divided by dt. Acceleration is dv by dt. Okay. Now what I do, simply I'll multiply this with numerator and denominator with ds. Okay. I'm just taking ds by ds and I'm multiplying this dv by dt with this term. Simply multiply above, like multiply ds by ds. So if you multiply with this, what do you get? You can write it as A is equal to dv. Simply bring this ds to the other side. dv by ds into ds by dt. Right? I can just shuffle this. ds comes here, dt comes here. So it is dv by ds into ds by dt. Okay. Let me take this as equation 1. But what is ds by dt? ds by dt is v. Right? I'll just substitute that v over here. A is equal to dv by ds into v. Take this as equation number 2. Fine. Now bring this ds to the other side. From above equation, we can write v dv is equal to a ds. So that means if your body is starting with initial velocity u, it is going to some final value, its velocity is v, with some acceleration a, and this is covering some distance s. Initial distance is s naught, final displacement I can take it as s1. And total length, it is delta s. As this comes under instantaneous values, v dv is equal to ads. This is only instantaneous. In order to find out the net value, what you do, you will just integrate above expression. Integrating above expression. Integration v dv. Now v is changing from where to where? It is changing from value v to v, u to v. So it is u, upper limit is v, is equal to integration a ds. Now ds is changing from where to where? It is s naught to s1. Okay. Now what is v dv integration? V dv integration is v square divided by 2. Limits are from u to v. This is equal to acceleration a, and integration ds is s, upper limit and lower limit. Fine. Now take upper limit first. First, if you take upper limit, you will get it as v square divided by 2 minus lower limit u square divided by 2 is equal to a into upper limit s1, lower limit s0. Now this is v square minus u square is equal to, bring this 2 to the other side, 2 times a into s1 minus s0. So above equation is valid for body moving with variable acceleration also. So this is the final expression, final equation for final equation of equations of motion. Students, we are going to learn one problem based on previous concepts. In this particular problem, we have an object moving with speed 6.25 meter per second is decelerated at a rate given by dv by dt is equal to 2.5 minus 2.5 into root v, where v is instantaneous speed, time taken by the object to come to rest. So body is starting with some initial velocity, right? What is its initial value? 6.25 meter per second. Body is starting with this velocity. Now it is traveling, but as it is traveling, it is mentioned as retardation, that is minus a. What would happen to velocity? Velocity decreases. So acceleration is given negative, right? So velocity decreases. Finally, it is coming to rest position. Finally, it is coming to rest position. Initially, its value is 6.25 meter per second. Okay. Now you should find out the time taken by the object to come to rest. So in order to come to rest, finally, when it comes over here, let time taken be t second. I am considering that in that particular time t second, it is starting from initial velocity 6.25 and coming to rest position. And how this acceleration is variable? It is mentioned that acceleration is variable as dv by dt is equal to minus 2.5 into root v. Okay. Now what I do, I'll just do some mathematical modifications in order to integrate this. I want to find out final time taken. So what I do, simply I'll bring this root v term to the other side, because here it is dv divided by root v is equal to minus 2.5 into dt. I'm just doing some mathematical alteration. Because dv term is left side, I want to bring all the velocity terms left side. So right side there is root v, which is velocity. I'm bringing that to the other side. And right side, I want to bring this all time terms one side. So dt, I am bringing it to the other side. Now, in order to find out time taken, just integrate above expression. Now, integrating this expression, integration dv into this divided by v power 1 by 2 is equal to minus 2.5 into integration dt. Right? Now, what is initial time? Let it be starting time 0. What is final time? You do not know. You are supposed to find out that final time. What is initial velocity? 6.25. What is final velocity? 0. So you are applying those limits over here for this integration. So this gives you integration. Limits I am writing it as 6.25 to 0 and v power minus 1 by 2 dv is equal to minus 2.5 into integration dt is t. Limits are from 0 to t. Right? Now this is expression in terms of x power n dx. X power n dx will be written as v power minus 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by minus 1 by 2 plus 1. Limits between 6.25 to 0 is equal to minus 2.5 into t minus 0. Upper limit and lower limit I am substituting here. Now this gives you a v power. What is this minus 1 by 2? It is minus 1 by 2 divided by minus 1 by 2. Am I right? Limits are from 6.25 to 0. This is equal to minus 2.5 into t. Right. Now minus 1 by 2, you can bring it out. I will be just using this limit values over there. So it will be 0 power minus 1 by 2 minus 6.25 power minus 1 by 2 is equal to minus 2.5 into t. So this negative sign gets cancelled. 0 raised to power something, that is 0. So it will be minus of 6.25 whole power minus 1 by 2 is equal to 2.5 into t. This gives you 1 divided by 6.25 whole power 1 by 2 is equal to minus, of course, 2.5 into time taken t. Okay. Now this gives you minus 1 divided by 6.25 under root is equal to 2.5 into t. What is this 6.25? It will be 2.5. Root 2.5 will be equal to 6.25. So that you can use it here, because 625 under root will be equal to 25. So that is 2.5 minus 1 by 2.5 into 2.5 is equal to t. So t will be equal to, however, time will be scalar. That will be 1 divided by 2.5 into 2.5. It is 6.25 second. This will be the final expression for time taken. Now let us see one more problem. An object moves in a straight line according to the equation x is equal to 2t cube minus 3t square minus 6t, where x is in meter and t is in second. At what time is the net force acting on the object is 0? In this problem, you are being given an expression x is equal to 2t cube plus 2t cube minus 3t square minus 6t, and this is displacement, so unit should be meter. What is asking in the problem, in what time is the net force acting on the object is equal to 0? So asking, what it is asking, at what time force is becoming 0? At what time force is becoming 0? You are supposed to find out what time force is acting on the body and when it is becoming 0. Now here we have something new from the previous sessions. Here we are including one force, right? And you know basic equation for force which you might have learned in your school section. F is equal to ma, right? Force is depending upon what? Acceleration. Okay. When F is equal to 0, when F will be equal to 0? If and only if acceleration is equal to 0. When F is equal to 0, like F is equal to 0 if acceleration is equal to 0, right? Therefore, you need to find out when acceleration is becoming 0. If you are able to find out acceleration is equal to 0 at that particular time, force will be equal to 0. That means literally when A is equal to 0, at that time force is also equal to 0. Force is also equal to 0 at that particular time. Now what you are supposed to find out? Acceleration, and that acceleration should be equal to 0. Okay, we know acceleration is equal to dv by dt. But what is v? V is equal to dx by dt. Now in order to find out acceleration, you should find out velocity. In order to find out velocity, you should differentiate that. So first let us find out velocity. V is equal to d by dt of x ఎంత ఇస్తున్నారు? 2t cube minus 3t square minus 6t. This is equal to 2 into, use dy dt of x power n. X power dy dx of x power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. 3 into t power n minus 1. 3 minus 1, it is 2. Minus 3 into 2 into t power 2 minus 1, it is 1. Minus 6 into t power 6 into t power 1 minus 1, it is 0. So something power 0 is 1. This is the value. V is equal to 6t square minus 3 to 6t minus 6. Okay, this is velocity, meter per second. Now you are supposed to find out acceleration A. A will be equal to dv by dt. This is equal to d by dt of, what is acceleration? 6t, sorry, velocity, it is 6t square minus 6t minus 6. So A will be equal to differentiating this total term 6 into d by dt of t square, that is 2t, minus 6 into what is dt by dt? It is 1. Okay, this is equal to A 6 to 12, 12t minus 6, right? This is equation for acceleration. But what is given to you in the problem? A is equal to 0. So that means 0 is equal to 12t minus 6. This gives you 12t is equal to 6. So t will be equal to 6 by 12. It is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5 second. Right? Therefore, at time 0.5 second, force on body is 0. Force on the body will be equal to 0 at 0.5 seconds.